Nick Castellanos steps up to the plate, and it's a 2-run shot. Dead center. Trey Turner scores. Castellanos obviously scores. They win 5-4. The ninth inning, boom, 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 done and over with. Jeff Hoffman does the
that's your friend.
The dip celebration, right?
I love it.
After Whit Merrifield grounds out, and the Phillies get the win. Now, I want to talk more about the game, and I want to talk more about Nick Castellanos, and we will, because, again, Nick Castellanos, we talked about him earlier this week. We literally, it was 2 days ago?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it was 2 days ago. It was the day, we reacted to it the day of what ended up being close to the no-hitter, that Nick Castellanos does not get nearly enough, I don't even want to say love, just likeness in this city, because he has actually been better than the way a lot of people make him out to be. And last night was another big moment for Nick Castellanos, another big moment against the Atlanta Braves, by the way. And now his 19th home run. The batting average continues to go up. 2 more hits yesterday. All of a sudden, you look at his numbers, and they're top 2, top 3 in most offensive statistical categories for the Philadelphia Phillies, which is what you expect him to do when he is one of the higher-paid players with Bryce Harper and Kyle Schwarber. Right? He's doing what you kind of expect him to.
Well, he's doing more right now. Like, honestly, if I look at this lineup, I'm not saying Nick Castellanos should be top 2 or 3 in offensive categories. Bryce Harper's a better hitter than him. Trey Turner's a better hitter than him. Like, Kyle Schwarber could be, depending on the year. JT Realmuto could be, depending on the... Like, I look at it and I say, oh, I would expect him to be around 4th or 5th on this team, which is kind of what you expect based on the lineup. He's doing much more than that right now. He's red hot. He's really helping this team. And something, too, really clutch hitting.
Yes, absolutely. He's hitting .292 now in the month of August with 4 home runs, 16 RBI. You know, the strikeouts are still the strikeouts. He's got 18. But you know what? 18 in the month of August, 18th in the month of July. In June, it was 25. In May, it was 26. In April/March, it was 28.
Yeah, so he's cutting down. The strikeouts are never going to go away.
Right, but they're cutting down, and the average is going up. So clearly, he's getting better, more comfortable at the plate. Not that he changes his approach all that much, but he probably does a little thing. You know, I think he's got a bit of a macho man mentality or a not care mentality in front of a camera, but let's face it, he doesn't just wake up and show up to the ballpark and try to play baseball. I've seen that guy work out in spring training. I watched him specifically working on defensive drills 2 years ago, and we've seen him become a better outfielder. He's a good ball player, and I don't think he gets enough credit or literally any credit in this city for whatever reason. And so that leads to the conversation about enjoyment. So earlier this week, we talked about Nick Castellanos. This was the day after they had the big win against the Astros in the second game of that series. We know what happened in the third game. But we had this conversation about Nick Castellanos where we were just like, hey, what's the temperature check? And Brendan, you were manning the text line yesterday, that day. We got a bunch of texts of, I still hate him, or I don't like him.
Yeah,
I don't
calling
like his
out
attitude.
the chains, calling out the buttons, stuff that has nothing to do with on the field. It's ridiculous.
And so if you have that much, I don't know if you want to say hatred or just dislike of an individual that has had a lot of big moments for you in this city, Reggie Jackson-like moments in the playoffs last year, has actually been one of, if not your most consistent hitters on this team over the last 3 or 4 months now. Maybe Alec Boehm, the only guy that you can say has been more consistent. And yet people are still coming in the next day after he had a big night with a certain attitude toward him. I imagine if we did that show again today, we would probably still get a certain attitude toward Nick Castellanos. And I just try to wonder, like, did you not like the moment last night because it was him? Like, are there people, was there somebody out there that rolls their eyes that it was Nick Castellanos yesterday?
Possibly, very possibly.
I'm not saying the majority. I'm just saying, were there a handful of people that watched Nick Castellanos do the go-ahead 2-run home run yesterday and go, oh, man, I wish it was anybody but him?
Yeah, he still stinks. Whatever. Like, yeah, for sure. You know what? They're the guy from Major League. I don't know if that's a dated reference now.
I know what
but
you're talking
the guy
about,
sitting out in the outfield that always is like, this team stinks until literally the second where they win the pennant.
Right.
Like, that's where I think some people are with certain players on this team. That's where I think people have gotten with this team overall. But Nick Castellanos is a lightning rod for people not liking the way he goes about how he does things. And he's been really, really good for you. I don't know about you, Andrew, but outside of guys in this city that have had major off-the-field issues, where I think they're just like not a good person or
Right.
don't deserve to continue playing the sport that they're playing. There has not been a single player in this city that has won a game for a team or had a big moment for a team where in the moment I wasn't excited about what that player accomplished.
Right. And there are probably some people that feel a certain type of way. And again, probably very, very small percentage. But here's what I'm getting at. And this is something that, again, today's one of these days where I'm going to be all over the place. But this is a topic that also I can tie into the Eagles. This is kind of a, 4-for-4 topic, to quote an old friend. And you can chime in at 610-632-0975. How does sports provide enjoyment for you? This is something where we will get a million different answers. And the reason why I asked the question is because I think there are some people that only watch sports for championships, right? And if that's the case, you have been more miserable in your life than you've been happy, right? 2 championships in 40 years. Okay?
Not great.
Like, that means the Phillies getting to the World Series and NLCS in back-to-back years was not enough for you because they have not won. So that means ultimately you didn't feel the ultimate joy. 2022, I will look back at that season with nothing but happiness.
I agree.
Right? And they didn't win. But the ride is something that I enjoy. I always say that sports is the greatest reality TV show that's out there. Reality TV shows, stuff that, I think John watches sometimes.
Oh, does he?
Like the Big Brothers and all those things.
Oh, I don't
right?
know if he does. Does he do those?
He used to, he told me.
Soap operas.
Those shows are scripted.
Yes, they are.
Even though they're considered reality TV, they are scripted. I know somebody that acted in a show, and I will tell you that this person is in an incredible marriage. They are very happy. But they were on a reality TV show, the two of them. And they were supposed to hate each other. Reality TV show. They were supposed to hate each other. So they did it for the paycheck. But they actually love each other, and they're a very, very happy family, right?
That'd be a hell of a job. Hey, go on this show and pretend like you're arguing with your significant other for money, Wink.
Right, yeah,
get
exactly.
some stuff out that you're annoyed about. But
Like,
anyway.
reality TV is actually scripted, right?
Yes.
Sports are not. I know there are some lunatics that believe sports are scripted, or they believe that the referees have are doing certain things for.
That one might be.
It has happened, but that's besides the point. But when it doesn't come, like I love sports because of the any given moment.